Good morning, and Blizzard, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, Blizzard, what is this? So, today we talk about Warcraft III Reforged and all the stuff that has been going down over the past several days. Hopefully I can do this in one shot or one video and not have to do like 2 videos just to talk about all of it, but my gosh, let's get into it. But yes, apparently the forums and everything are in a blaze over Warcraft III Reforge, and apparently it is not too good. Like, seriously, Blizzard, how do you take a game that is like, how many years old is it now? How long has it been? 12, 17 years? Something like that? I mean, and downgrade it? Blizzard, Bethesda called. They need your help. Oh my goodness. Okay, so first things first, get this out of the way. Warcraft 3 is not my favorite game. I'm a fan of Warcraft 2. I think that one would have been better. This whole idea of remaking Warcraft 3 to begin with has been kind of an odd choice to me. I don't understand why they wanted to remake Warcraft 3. You know, it's getting there. It's like 16, 17 years old now, right? Just trying to not math right now, but anyway, it's somewhere in that vicinity, right? But you know, Warcraft and Warcraft 2 are much older, of course, and much more dated graphics than the third installment. I guess a lot more people enjoyed the third installment, or I guess more people came into the game through the third installment. I guess that's why they chose to really remake Warcraft 3. They probably said why somewhere out there, and I've just never noticed or heard what it was. But, you know, personally, I would like to have seen one of the other twos redone, because those are hard to play on sometimes using DOSBox and stuff. It'd be nice to see those remade and have an HD remake, of course. That would be a lot better. But if you're going to do an HD remake, it helps if your final product isn't worse than your previous product, Blizzard. That's just... I think that's like gaming 101 at this point. It's like, if the sequel is worse than the first one, no point to having it. Or if the remake is worse than the original, I mean... Anyway, it's been a whole can that has apparently gone out. It's apparently not much of an upgrade. And we're going to stop talking about my feelings about Warcraft 2 versus that, but let's just take a look at this for a split second. We're going to turn off the sound here. This is the original, right? We're over here at Kotaku right now, and they've got us this nice little thing here where we can see the original footage as it originally was. You can see all this nice grass, you know, the rain is falling, all this clutter everywhere, and all this other stuff, right? And, you know, it doesn't look half bad at all. Not at all. Now, let's take a look here at the Reforge. Notice anything? Looks a lot less crowded. I mean, it's still got the grass and everything. That fire is pitiful looking. But, let's just take this shot by shot for a second. Go through. This is the original angle and everything, right? The original angle, how this dialogue and stuff is coming through. And then we go into this one. This is the new angle of it. We go in, and it zooms in here and gives us this angle right here. A lot less detail in there, which is bad. Look at that. Those 2 spots right there. What is that? That's 10. This is 52. But just look at that. Can you really call that a remaster? I mean, sure, you can see him much better, of course. You know, you can see the character a lot better than you could. But this just looks way, for the graphics at the time, looks a lot better detail wise. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you disagree with me. I mean, that's totally fine too. It's just like, wow, really? That's what we've done. There's been reports and screenshots and everything else, of course, shared all over the place of just textures being not as good as its original counterpart. And I think the worst sin of all with all this is the fact that it has turned into, apparently according to reports, that it is a forced upon upgrade. If you have the original game, the original game files will no longer run and be replaced with Reforged. I'm not sure how they manage that, or how that works. I guess if you already have the original installed on your PC and then you have Reforged detects it, deletes it, replaces it with itself, that sort of thing. And, I guess if you don't have Reforge, it won't do that. I'm not really sure how that one's going down exactly, but that would be something really, really sneaky right there. Let me adjust this real quick. I can never get this camera in a good spot. But yeah, so that happened. And of course, you got people going on saying, this is not what we were promised. And it clearly isn't in a lot of places. It seems, they've downgraded because they showed off one thing and it was real close, really detailed and all this other stuff. And then a lot of those cutscenes are actually further back, less detailed. And it's just not the game that was promised several years back from people. Which is a dang shame because it's Warcraft 3. I mean, it ain't no Warcraft 2, of course. Still like Warcraft 2. Hope you got your coffee. Anyway, or tea. I guess if you like tea, you can have your sweaty leaf juice or whatever it's called. Anyway, I prefer my muddy bean water. But, so we've got this happening, of course. And then you've got people being banned from the forums, apparently, reportedly, for trying to tell people how to refund Warcraft 3 Reforge, because people are wanting it refund. They are trying to refund it. There is now Blizzard is apparently denying refunds, so that's happening. It's gotten so bad that anyone, of course, telling anybody on the forums how to do it, they're getting banned temporarily from the forums, and you really need to come over here to Reddit to find that information if that is what you want. So there's this nice little request a refund guide just in case you were wanting to refund this game. But yeah, apparently this is really bad. Like, this is Bethesda levels of bad at this point. It might be worse than Bethesda levels of bad at this point. I'm not really sure. These things are teetering in the same spot at this point. Blizzard. Welcome to the new Blizzard, where we don't really care about what it is that you want or what makes you, what's a fun game. We just need your money. Yes, please. Give us green. That is the new Blizzard. And if you don't like it, there's the door. But yeah, that's apparently pretty much all it is at this point. We've got more review bombing of Warcraft 3 Reforge, and of course you've got the people out there, the NPCs and the other groups out there going about how, oh my gosh, they're review bombing of the game and blah blah blah, and trolls are at it again and stuff. And it's like, look, people, if something gets review bombed, it's getting review bombed for a reason. It's one of those things that make you go out and go, what happened here? Let's look into it, because it may be good, it may be bad. So there's nothing wrong with review bombing. It happens. When you really take off your fan base, they're going to let you know. And this is one of the few outlets we have to let the developers know, how we feel. But the Metacritic score is at a 63. And if I'm reading this right, that's 1 positive review, 5 mixed reviews, 0 negative reviews, for a total of 6 reviews total on Metacritic from the critics. So it gets at 63. However, for the user review, we have well over 6,403 views, just purely in the negative, 63 negative or mixed, and 249 positive. That is roughly a number of 200 and something. I'm sorry, 200. Over 6,600, I think, is where we're aiming for. Over that, by the way, it's like 2,000 or 6,700 something. I don't know. My math is horrible. I can't. Okay. Anyway, so with that, let's take a look at some of these reviews real quick. But first, I got to see this. This I thought was funny. Not funny as in, you know, it is just funny as in, wow, Blizzard, really? This is how lazy you got. Throwing Arthas on the Death Knight model and calling it a Death Knight. Yep, that happened. That is what we call laziness. We talked about laziness when it came to Pokemon over in Sword and Shield, yeah. Anyway, we talked about the laziness of Game Freak and Pokemon and stuff like that over there, and it really does feel like that a lot of these developers are getting on the lazy side at this point in time. They're not interested in making their games great anymore. They just want them out there. They want the money. Consumer be damned. So, you know, again, I guess we could have the talk about vote with your wallet. Stop paying for it. You know, get the refunds if you can. Stop pre-ordering. Make the developers know that this is not going to be good. You know, we don't stand for this. We won't take it. We want a good product, a great product. And if you can't deliver something, you know, at that state, then don't bother. Especially, which is really sad for Blizzard, because Blizzard is known for, you know, not giving us release dates and stuff, because there's the Blizzard Standard. The Blizzard Standard, of course, left years ago. It no longer exists, unfortunately. But I do want to kind of see some of these negative reviews just out of curiosity. I want to click this, let this load up real quick, because, you know, for whatever reason, it's going to take a second. But let's take a look, shall we? Let's look at some of these things. Warcraft 3 Reforge is a complete mess. It's false advertising, no upgraded UI, very buggy, and a lot of missing features. Oh my gosh, speaking of features, we didn't even talk about the end user agreement license thing that they got going on either. Yeah, so map making, that is something that I've really enjoyed when it comes to games like this. I used to make maps on Red Alert, Command & Conquer, StarCraft, Warcraft. I made maps. I enjoyed it. No, I didn't have anything elaborate like Dota. Don't get me wrong. I didn't have anything elaborate like that. But, you know, it was just standard maps for 2v2s and 3v3s and 1v8s and stuff like that, just to have fun with me and my friends and that sort of thing. You know, so with all that, apparently now Blizzard owns every map that you make. There is a new end user agreement license. A lot of the tools are now, of course, gone. You can't import anything that would be like a, you know, another character, and all this is reason because of Dota. The long and the short of it, Dota was created using Warcraft 3. You know, if you go look at Steam, look up Dota 2, that game originated on Warcraft 3, you know, in the map making thing. That person, of course, developed Dota, decided to go on. Blizzard wanted to make their own Dota, so they went ahead and was going to make Blizzard Dota. They went to court and fought over Dota itself. And I think, if I remember correctly, Blizzard ultimately lost that court battle, and then a few years later came out with Heroes of the Storm, and at that point in time, Dota was already popular, League of Legends was super popular, and Blizzard and Heroes of the Storm just never really took off. And honestly, I love the idea of having Heroes of the Storm because of the different heroes and stuff, and, you know, characters that you can play in it. However, I hate the mechanics of Heroes of the Storm, because it's not the same as Dota and League, and I know they wanted to do something different, but it never took off, in my opinion, which is why it's having a hard time in the esports thing too. But essentially, Blizzard missed that train, and they missed it hard, and they know it. They screwed up, and then they spent years fighting a legal battle that they ultimately lost, instead of going forward with what they have and, you know, coming up with Heroes of the Storm during that time and launching it instead of having to wait for these court battles and things to fall in place and stuff. And that is what they're trying to capture. They're attempting to capture the next big thing that you have no rights over anymore. Speaking of Warcraft, there we go. Warcraft, Orcs and Humans. Anyway, unrelated, but yeah. So, you know, they're trying to capitalize on the next big thing that's going to come out of their map maker, but with the way they've set up their ELU, you know, I just don't see it happening. You know, create with your own at your own risk. They reserve all rights to pull anything down they don't like. You know, if you happen to be a controversial person, you make a map and throw it up there for your buddies or whatnot, and then people complain about it, there's a good chance that will, you know, knock it down and stuff as well. But yeah, so it's been about 16 or so minutes at this point, so I think I'm going to be done with this. We won't get to the reviews. We'll come back to it. We'll come back. There's so much here to talk about. It's hard to put this all in one video. But anyway, let me know what you think about this entire dumpster fire that is currently Blizzard Warcraft 3 Reforge, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.